Kozak. I'm the senior designer here at Barnes & Noble 1892. First off, I'd like to thank everyone for coming out so early in the morning. I know it's tough to sit through meetings. 1 month ago, you approved a proposal to redesign the unorganized, overcrowded, and inefficient shipping and receiving room here at Barnes & Noble 1892. A month later, I've returned with the proposal, or with the final report, and I want to show you what exactly we did. Today, we're going to divide everything up into about 5 major parts. First, the design method, exactly what we did. The schedule, how long each step took. The costs, there's going to be 2 costs. One is the cost of the design process, and one is the implementation cost, which is actually building the design. The results, what everyone cares about. I have some detailed drawings of what exactly we designed. And finally, the recommendations. My recommendations for the future regarding the design and implementation of it. First, the design method and the schedule. We're going to combine these two. It makes it a little easier to understand exactly what we did. The design method itself can be divided up into 3 main parts: the pre-design, the design, and the post-design. First, the pre-design. I spent half a week, interviewing all employees that were directly involved with the shipping and receiving room. I got their opinions on problems with the current room and recommendations for the new room. Next, I spent another half a week surveying the current design. This involved taking detailed measurements and sketches of the room as it stands. Next, I compiled all this data, rewrote my notes, tried to figure out what all the numbers were and all the drawings. Next, we did the actual design, and that involved developing 3 working drawings. One of them involved, as the room stands right now, is the first floor of as the room is right now. The second drawing was the first floor in the new design, and the third drawing, the second floor in the new design, which is the real stellar part of the design. We'll be showing those in a second. And finally, the post-design. That involved preparing a report. This took about a week and a half of the written report that you all have in front of you right now and the oral presentation I'm giving. Next, we had the costs. And as I said, there were 2 major costs. The redesign project cost, this ended up being $665. That consisted of my salary and any supplies I used. And the second cost is the implementation costs. This would be approximately $8,000. It's an extremely rough estimate for labor and materials to implement the actual design. Next, we have the results, what everybody came to see. Here is a drawing of the current room as it stands right now. As you can see, right here is the general working counter. We have receiving station 1 and 2. This is all the area for uninventoried merchandise. That is merchandise that has come into the store but is yet to be inventoried into our computer system. This is the exact opposite, the inventoried merchandise. That shows that we have that on hand. But this is where the main problem is. People not being able to find books that we have, and large stacks that are a danger to employees. Here's the door that goes out to the sales floor, and then our doors in and out for deliveries. Now, the major changes that we made are represented here. The first major change is the door. You may be familiar with like a door at a restaurant kitchen that double hinges. It swings both ways. And we added this to the design to ease in moving large carts of books and dollies of magazines on and off of the floor. A lot of employees thought this would be a really good idea, so we put it into the design. Next, we moved the actual working counter from here all the way over to here. We shortened it just a little bit. In doing so, we removed one of the obsolete computers. We added an extra shelving unit above station number 2, and we replaced the working counter with another large shelving unit here. This move increased our uninventoried merchandise space and increased the working space for the employees receiving over here. That'll increase productivity when you can move around much easier rather than bumping into boxes. But the best part of the design is the second floor. We took all of this area that's shelving and we lofted a large area above that. And right here you can see what we used is 1-inch metal grating. We used metal grating because it is very strong, lightweight, and allows light to pass through. Doing this, we added 462 square feet of additional storage space to the existing 1,014. This is probably the best part of the design. We'll be able to use all of this area for supplies, large quantities of register tape, bags, anything like that, that won't need to be used every day, but we have no space for it as it stands now. And finally are my recommendations for the future. As obviously, I recommend that we move forward and improve the construction phase of this design. It would probably be best to do construction on the weekends. Receiving periods are down then. We only usually have one assistant receiver in the back. Because we will be doing it on the weekends, it's going to take about a month to a month and a half. And after about 6 months, I recommend we evaluate the design and make any changes that are necessary. This will prevent a large overhaul as we're doing now. We can make small tweaks and changes to the actual design. Before I conclude, are there any questions?
How long will it take to implement the design doing it over weekends?
About a month to a month and a half. It's extended slightly. If we were doing it during the week, we could probably have it done in 2 to 3 weeks, but because we're doing it on weekends, it'll take longer. Well, in conclusion, I'd like to thank all of you again for coming, and I have confidence that this redesign process will be most beneficial to Barnes & Noble 1892 and its staff. Thank you very much.